Hey, Sara
Hi.
Pizzi. Um, so excited to ask you some questions about your work and to get to know a little more of your process. I am Gerard Minaya. My pronouns are he, they, them. I'm located in the Bronx, New York. And a bit of image description. I have on a white shirt, a bit of a medium beard, glasses, brown skin, Latinx, curly hair that's pulled up in a pineapple with some balloons behind me and some mirrors and light reflecting off of the walls. Um, I'm going to pass it to you, Sarah, if you want to give a brief introduction of yourself and
Sure, totally. So, I was born and raised in Italy, and I began my dance studies with ballet and modern. And I discovered the world of the hip hop or commercial urban dances, depends on how you want to call it, where I focused all of my training throughout my teen years. Where at 14 years old, I had the opportunity to join a work team company of hip hop. And that allowed me to perform in concerts, music videos, and appeared in a national TV show as a dancer. The name is Italians Got Talent, and I believe that also in the USA there you have USA Got Talent. When I was 18 years old, I came to New York with a scholarship, actually thanks to a scholarship of the Academy Steps on Broadway. After 1 year of study, I received another scholarship for the certificate program um, in Paradise Capizio Center, where I graduated in the summer of 2020, of course, online. And in those 3 years, I discovered my new voice as a contemporary dancer and choreographer. And I had the opportunity to work with international dancers. I will just say a few names, so just to have a clue: Nicolas Palmquist, Julie Magneville, Elisabetta Monitoli, Max Stone, Julia Erstrand. And now I'm a company member of the Next Stage project, directed by Mariah Eisberg and Jana X, Balletto from Valeria Gonzalez, and After Dance Entropy by Valerie Green. And in addition, I started my new creative space as RPC, collaborating with New York City dancer, choreographer, photographers, musician, poet, and non-artist. And this is me.
that's great, Sarah. You have a great, like, vast history of work, and you're continuing to do so during the pandemic, which is applause to you because it's hard. um, I know myself as a dancer as well, but also I'm a dance arts administrator. You know, I met you through BAAD, Bronx Academy of Arts and Dance, because I'm there. I'm the programming associate for BAAD, and so I communicate with artists and I organize a bit of the festivals and events. And so you were one of the artists that I got to know virtually, and I got to see your work now, I think 2 or 3 times maybe, at BAD, I think twice
Yeah,
at BAD.
twice.
And it has been such a pleasure to see it, you know, at the outdoor space in BAD's backyard. And then most recently at the Badass Woman Festival in March 2021, in your space. Was it in Brooklyn or
Yeah, it was in Brooklyn,
in Brooklyn?
in
Yeah.
my old apartment. Yeah, it was in Williamsburg, and in the beginning of April, I moved to Bushwick. But yeah, it was, and this is why the room was empty because I was close to moving.
That was perfect, man. It was really just amazing. You know, I saw a little bit of your work that you shared with me of the videos, and a lot. I was very impressed because a lot of them, it was clear to me that it was created during the past year, right? Because you're not seeing these videos, these dances, particularly in the classical proscenium of theater. You're not seeing them in a black box or in a studio space. You really were seeing it like in someone's room, then going into like the buildings and into nature. And it was quite fascinating. The kind of the themes that you were playing with. So I'm curious if you can share with me a bit of, you know, the themes that you pull from, and what inspires you, I guess, to navigate those through your choreographic work.
Yeah, sure. So all the themes are based on my main mission and vision as an artist. And most of the time, and maybe the big impact is because I'm really passionate about art and about social issue, about how art can really help and be vehicle to spread that there is the need to solve some social issue. And yeah, now every time that I'm speaking with other artists, I feel like, oh, you are really young artist, but you have a really strong vision. And yeah, I believe, and now that I look myself at the mirror, I believe that I have a strong vision about dance, but because I believe that dance is really strong, it is a really strong vehicle. So, and yeah, and speaking about vehicle, I believe that each individual in this world has been chosen a career and they choose this career to express their opinion, and I choose my career as an artist. So so I express my thought, my point of view about this world through art, and it is through art that also I will contribute to my biggest goal. It is to make this world, a better place for everyone. This is why, like, if I wanna shrink down my vision in a sentence, my mission, it is to normalize art and to empower minorities. So there is a lot to say, a lot to cover, but like in few words, I say normalized art because sometimes I feel that there is a wall in between artist and non-artist, and yeah, some most of all, as you can see, most in during quarantine, during COVID, that artists are not considered not a necessary worker and also not well-paid worker. And a lot of time when I say, "Oh yeah, I'm an artist in New York City," people are like, "Oh, so what is it your real job?" Or okay, so literally you're not doing anything all the day. You're just always in your cloud, and that is not true. And also it is not our value. We are more than that, and we are, I believe that also we are necessary worker. But also, in another hand, I believe that artists itself sometimes create this world. Think about ballerinas, how they project this ideal perfection of body that sometimes people are getting scared about all of this perfection. Or also contemporary work sometimes when I hang out with friends that are non-artists who see a performance, a contemporary piece, they're like, yeah, it's good, just I don't understand the meaning because it is too abstract. So and then the work it is too distant from people, and choreographers or artists in general doesn't give like a key of reading of their piece. So what I want to do is to make art for people. I want to be a bridge to welcome people to the art world without feeling them judged or overwhelmed or confused. And this is why I want to make art that speak about people and giving my point of view to understand the world and to let people think about it. And this is one of the reasons why I introduced in art into the non-artistic environment to let art be kind of like our daily bread, daily routine, and letting people understand and normalize art more. And also this is why one of the reasons that I wanted to create my own creative space as RPZ, collaborated with artists whose mission is the same of mine, and they hope to build a solid place to welcome community of artists in it to explore and share their voices. And also it has been a place that I always have been dreaming about it, that I was lacking when I was in Italy, or also for all my like teen years when I was still studying dance. And speaking about minorities, in another way that I say empower minorities, I I guess that all my drove about that is just because I consider myself as a spokeswoman on minorities. Think about immigrant, or also a dancer, like be an artist. Also, it is been like a kind of like minority in this world, or also part of the LGBTQA plus community. And I want to give voice to this social issue that sometimes people tend to forget because they're always like our daily bread in this society, and sometimes we kind of forget that there are people that suffer, that are judged because of social issue, and nobody really like take action to show to people, hey, there is that and we have to solve it. So yeah, so part of my passion is for this, and uh, and also because before to move to New York City, I work in a center of mental health care. And for me, it was really heartbreaking to see how also like people that are as mental issue or disorder are really considered, are really, I don't know, are judged or forgot from the society. And every minority as are just human being with passion, dreams. So I want to give them like a new voice to say, yeah, you are powerful, we are valuable, you're not minority. So yeah, so just to shrink down and just to wrap up to this huge question and answer, I want to use art as a non-activist documentary of this world to explain what it should be changed, to give some possibility of change and create a space of reflection.
I think that's great, Sara Pizzi. Wow, there's so much there to unpack and to talk about. But I think one of the things for me that resonated deeply was your idea around art and the distance it has between, you know, the artist and the people and the community, and you trying to bridge that gap. I think is really special. You more specifically in a time where art, you know, a lot of events got canceled and people were getting rescheduled and postponed, and you know, in-person theater wasn't a thing anymore. And so your vision to really bring the art to, you know, the streets and to nature, it's really like almost like a homecoming. It seems like it was like it was needed and necessary. And I think I guess a question that I have for you is, you know, what does our SRPZ envision for the future, for future projects? You know, when we come out of this pandemic, hopefully that's very soon, um, and when we're able to gather in person, what does that look like for SRPZ?
Okay, so as I said before, right now SRPZ is my own creative space to give room to my own voice and vision, collaborating with various artists and non-artists in the hope to achieve my goal to normalize art and empower minorities. So this is like the definition. And right now it is just me funding my projects and connecting with people, sharing my work in organization and events, or even creating events. But I'm working on it to create a solid team or to expand it in a already existing business, to set a network to turn into a company or a non-profit organization. So literally my biggest dream, it is to have a different locations, like it could be in USA, in Europe, trying to create like a corporation of artists to inspire each other and to make a safe creative space. So right now I'm collaborating with a poet, a visual artist, I collaborate with a singer, a videographer, and in my last work, I work with a composer, with a photographer, and one of my favorite dancers in NYC that she performed at BAAD the first time, that the name is like Takeshima. She helped me also with the like building the idea of a home, and also she performed it. So yeah, and with the same dancer also, I'm gonna release soon my dance movie about the bipolar disorder. So, and I believe that even if for now all of these projects are online, I will stick a bit, stay in the in virtual world, because I believe that it is a path that the society and also art is taking, most of all because I can spread my voice with a bigger audience, and also because it gave more, I don't know, I have more room to play. But for sure also I will perform in theater, in yeah, in parks, wherever it is possible. But yeah, so this is my question, my answer, sorry.
That's great. Yeah, I'm it's I'm curious too, if you can elaborate a bit more. You brought up the film Home, and with your collaborator, and I'm curious with you as a dancer and choreographer artist, how you were able to process from going to choreographing in the live space to now being like a film director. I mean, because there was just beautiful shots. That last shot that just went like this and in the air, and she was just, they were just still in the field, and that was just fun. Like I have questions. I'm like, how, but also where, like, how did you, Sara Pizzi, process as now a film director,
Mm.
um, who maybe I'm not sure if you've had much experience in that realm, were able to create such beautiful work. And yeah, so I'm curious what that looked like for you.
So for sure, when pandemic happened and looking like back 1 year ago, and I was thinking that I was just going to be a performer in the theater, and now thinking that I already did many dance movies and collaboration with like visual artists, photographers, videographers, I would never imagine that it happened. But actually, even before, I since I was baby, like I was going around with my mini camera, with my automatic camera, doing picture, and it's something that I always has been really passionate about. And I was planning actually to be a photographer, but unfortunately, I cannot afford it because be a photographer in Italy it's really crazy expensive. So I did not follow that path, but I always felt that I love photography. And many times also people said, just friends, like, oh no, Sarah, you do the picture because your picture are always good. So I always felt that like videography, or also I love watching movies, and I was just going back to watch the transition is something that really I was passionate about and I really love it. So actually when it happened, when pandemic happened, I didn't want. I was finishing school. I was ready to apply for a new visa. I was super ready to start my new life, and everything happened. Was a, you know what? Right now, what we can do is just promote dancing social media. But of course, nobody wants to see like the mini video take with the camera. So let me study now that I have time, photography, videography. So what I did in the beginning was just study by myself, like reading books, and after I took some workshops so I can dig more into it. But most of all, the most important thing was, of course, to collaborate with photographers, with videographers. So speaking about home, I have this wide vision that also born with a dancer, Aika Takeshima, that she said, I don't want to do just nature. And I was like, yeah, it's true. It doesn't feel right. I want to have two locations that also can reflect the interior world and this concept of no matter what, no matter where you are by yourself. But also I wanted to play with angle. Like many times you see like the camera that is kind of seeing what Aika, the dancer, is seeing, or also see her from this external eye to go deeper into the layers of understanding. Like this video, it is a self-healing, so more internal eye, but also like somebody is watching you from another angle. So when I spoke with videographers saying to please use a drone, and this is what we use to go all the way up, she said, Sarah, you are crazy. I can see that you're not a videographer because a videographer will never do that. But actually, when we did it, she was blasting of happiness. She was so happy, like, oh my God, like you really push the boundaries of videography in that. And I would never imagine that also you can do that and we can do that. So yeah, it is everything, let's say, that puzzled together was a puzzle pieces that slowly start to build. And actually, yeah, I deep love working dance and videography. I'm sure that I will keep going to do movies. And also because, as I said before, there is more room to play with possibilities. Like in the theater, I will never be able to do this game with the drone, or also to let audience move and also see maybe the details. So and there are also more elements to consider that I love to, like music, dynamic, editing, location, timing, like everything is more flexible. So yeah. um
I just want to say you're coming alive as you're talking about it.
yes.
And it's fascinating to see that because it shows really just what this pandemic revealed for yourself. I feel
Yeah.
that you're not only a dancer and that you're not only this artist that moves their body, but you're also able to envision a film and and also different elements that come with that. So that's so exciting. It's as a lot of dancers are, we have a strength to adapt to different settings, and that's exactly what dancers and yourself you have done. And it's I think if more people in this world had that, we'd be in a better place.
Yeah,
Um,
I
but
agree.
it's really fascinating what you spoke about with even your collaboration with someone who was like you said the videographer who was saying like that's impossible, we can't do that, and you were pushing that boundary. What are some boundaries right now that you wish to keep pushing in the dance field?
So about give room to play, to possibilities, because I see that sometimes like people are, I don't want to use the terminology conservative, but maybe they want to use the traditional ways because they work. I mean, don't get me wrong, also I'm craving to finally work with a large group of dance to see how the process grow, to see how literally the choreography enter inside the body of the dancer, and at the end they feel, you know, when you're treated like I'm performing, I rehearse so many hours and I just have one shot, and this is gonna give all the value of my work. So of course this is something that is, I guess, the main driver of a dancer to choose this career. But yeah, like as you said, adapting, and also literally like don't be scared about to use more elements, because sometimes when I see dance movie, they are still maybe like are still with the camera, so, and it is using the camera as like a third eyes of the audience, but there is no game with the camera or also more elements. So literally don't be scared to explore and also to fail. And also, so this is another thing, and to consider more elements, and also to start to put inside the art more non-artistic elements, that it could be to start maybe to change the theme into more to I don't know, personal, like I don't know how to say, personal routine, or also inside of the movement literally start instead to be more technical. I mean, now don't get me wrong, also in another way, ballet and techniques modern, it is something that must need in this world. But what am I doing more, and what I feel that is needed more right now, to let dance be more real, more human, to let like feel, oh, okay, it's not just perfection, it speak about human being. And even if I know that she is who is a dancer, she's speaking about me. I can see that he's doing like that. So maybe more stillness, more normal pedestrian human being action, instead to just kick and turn and be amazing. So yeah, more like that, going more in this direction.
That's great. I agree. We need more opportunities to have to play, to really use our craft because we have so much information in our bodies, um, and also within our surroundings that we can really just, you know, shift how audience perceives work, dance works. I saw this particularly in your performance on with I believe it was Aika in the space with you. It was a
Mhm.
Zoom space, and
Yeah.
you were inviting the audience um, to engage with the performance as they
Oh, you're
wish.
speaking the block performance.
Yes, yes. And there were moments of it was improvised, but it was so like to me, there was an awareness that you had to just be open to create and improvise. And there was this moment where you had props and you were restarting and you were bringing it back and telling and storytelling, and I thought that was fascinating, the storytelling element. What inspires you with storytelling? Where do you I know you said you're inspired with your with bipolar and how that comes in and out and into your work, and so I guess storytelling, like what inspires you, and what do you hope to keep navigating through storytelling?
So for sure, the storytelling, it is a main part in my work, also because I believe that it is starting everything from my drove, that I consider art as as a vehicle to spread my message as a human being, that I want to help the society, and this it is my vehicle to help you. As some people work in the hospital, I am a dancer and I want to help the society to become a better place. This is why for me the storytelling is important, because if I see a social issue or a subject that I want to investigate, like right now I'm speaking with you, this is a conversation. And most of all, this is why with Block's performance, it was a conversation that also was bouncing back, because I want that people also don't feel art, I'm just here and watching and I'm receiving information after Bravo. No, art can be also a place to communicate and to really like create more idea. And this is the reason that also people do art, not just to watch, but also to create more art and to be more creative, to also find also more funny way, colorful and creative way to find maybe the solution of the problem. This is why coming back, since it is a conversation, for me storytelling it is the most important thing, because if I don't have nothing to say, I will not say anything. This is why also I want to incorporate more pedestrian and movement in general, or also to involve people in the performance, because as I said before, there exists ballet techniques where the role of the audience just to watch, accomplish that this is an amazing work, and to say bravo, you have technique, you represent perfection that I will never achieve, and this is one kind of performance. But I believe that also art need to have another role, instead just to entertainment, but also to dig more into layers. Like art has a new way to see the world, like as we see that there is a philosophy, psychology, math to understand the world. I believe that also we can use dance to understand the world. This is what with Block's performance, it was all improvised, and I let Aika improvise through my words, and I would just play in blocks, and I would just literally a stream of consciousness about whatever I feel about the blocks. And I loved when people reply to me, and at the end of the performance you said, thank you so much, Sarah, because you literally start from a piece of wood, and after that you just blew my mind, and now I will consider the objects around me in a different way, where a pencil cannot just be a pencil, but it can be even something even more. And this for me, it is the biggest compliment ever, because art can really open the eyes of the people instead to just watch and upload, and that's it.
Yeah, that's special. It seems like you've had a lot of special moments with performing on the virtual, which is it's so needed. Um, I'm gonna ask one last question to kind of wrap up. What is your? I know you spoke a lot about your goal, and you want to bridge the gap between the art and the dance, and you also want to push boundaries. Um, could you speak on a goal that you have, um, let's say for your next performance?
Mhm.
Can you speak on that?
Yeah, sure. I I will not repeat what I'm doing with RPZ and my mission as an artist. And I guess it is my goal as a human being, that it is also my goal for my future performance in general for the rest of my life. I want to live every day, try to inspire somebody. If my biggest goal is to inspire, and I guess if I achieve that goal every day in a day as an artist, as a human being, that I feel that my presence in this world, it is necessary. This as a human being, but also with my performances. So every time that I will create other work, I will try to involve different artists and non-artists to create like a work that is maybe also a healing process, and at the end to let people really think and realize that everybody are valuable and everybody are worthy to do something, and their voice is valuable. So to also inspire people, because I feel that there is always a lack of trust in ourselves. So if I'm like, okay, I'm here, if I'm here, we can do it, we can do it together, most of all, because a journey, it is a hard journey for everybody, but if we all work together, and I hear you and I'm here to support you, this, I guess, is gonna bring like a different mentality, a more positive mentality. And after, this happy person maybe can inspire the other people around them to after create a bigger and happier network as a human being, as a dancer. So yeah, also, you don't know, like, you know, when somebody say, thank you so much, Sarah, this was really inspiring. And after, from that, maybe your day is gonna be better, or maybe more ideas are gonna sparkle in your mind that, I don't know, maybe, as I said before, from a wooden piece of a block, I just create a performance. So after that, maybe, okay, she did like that. So maybe why not try to do this one as a human being, as a person? And I guess that this also one, yeah, this, I will stop speaking or speak too much, but yeah, to inspire, I guess it is the main goal of my future performances and my personal self.
That's beautiful, Sarah. Thank you so much. I am so excited to continue watching your performances that you do. And you know, you always have a place to perform at BAAD, Bronx Academy of Arts and Dance. And so you can consider that another home. And yeah, just so excited for you and what's to come. And thank you for your time today, and for your generosity with, you know, the answers that you proposed. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Talk soon. Bye.